Look,
a feature.
it's a feature, not a bug. Hey, everybody. Sorry, we're a little scattered. It's my fault. Never blame Max for anything except for the things that go wrong.
Thank you.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Karandrin Role Playing. It's episode 134. Mine name is Kevin Manus Pennings, also known as Crack Palantir, and I will be your host and game master for this episode 134 of Brise's Tale. Max, my good buddy, down there is ready and happy to play Brise, the beautiful paladin. And so, Max, say hello to the lovely people.
Hey everybody, round of applause for Kevin up there. We have a great stream scheduled for y'all. So,
hope
you're ready.
We're sort of starting on a new chapter, are we not?
Yeah, hopefully.
So tell us about the new chapter. Whet our appetite, my appetizing friend.
Yeah. So we have been embroiled in some I don't know what you call it. Just there's been a lot of things going on in the world of Karandrin in the Vetch. There's been necromantic activity. A necromancer by the name of Chelbrick, we know is enlisting. Well, we know a couple of things. One, that he's cast in some involvement with the Philistan, this race of undead halflings who are working to construct some large fortification, and so the Vetch is very wild and kind of out of the way, so it's not gotten a lot of attention from local powers, but Brise has been trying to keep an eye on it. Though things have gotten kind of quiet, we have a couple leads, and people are investigating them, including Fraldrim, we know, and her apprentice Doshrik, as well as Iron, who is an assistant to a powerful wizard named Prethnot. So we have that. We learned that last session from Iron that Chelbrick claims to have some powerful necromantic artifact called the Ship of the Void, though Fraldrim thinks that's not very true, boasting on his part. We also know that he is a womanizer, Chelbrick is, and that he slighted Iron's family and shamed his sister. And that's why Iron is so eager to get back at him. So right now we're just still, again, gathering information on him. In a similar situation on Holver, another necromancer, closer to city of Balabry, where Lady Miagral's domain is. All we know about him still is that, we do have some information we're looking up on him that about his residence, the Miagral County Tax Office. So while we're waiting on that, we were thinking of striking out towards a new city, one Brise has wanted to visit for a long time, called Pesidarius. So yeah, I think that sums it up. Let me know if I missed anything.
No, I think you got it pretty well. Since Chelbrick the necromancer is sort of on hold to the extent that we don't know what else can be done.
Right, and he's laying low. He hasn't done anything else since the event a couple days ago.
Right. Then the thought is, let's give it a week or so, and until more information can come in about what to do about Chelbrick. This game, Karandrin itself, is unique in as much as it's it is very organic. Things happen as they happen,
or things don't happen, and
you move on to other things. Now we know that does require some attention from the players. Note keeping and so on is more important probably here than probably any other role playing that anyone's ever done.
Sorry, Did you say something?
Oh,
Are you talking?
oh, well, I guess those trolls will be twice the number that I thought.
If I don't pay attention to them, they don't exist.
That's right.
In college, they don't exist.
That's right. I should hop to the chat. Hey, Quinn, thanks for zinging us this early. So we're off to Pasadarius. We're going to try to find a series of waypoints that Brise's limited teleport can get her there quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's going to just travel down to
put on my tomes.
She's going to travel down to Convergence and chit chat with people and see if she can find anybody who could just take her there, and get a place to teleport directly from. Well, there won't be no directly, but she needs a midway point between Convergence and Pasadarius so she can teleport with her in her limited range.
So for reference, I can teleport at 50 miles plus 10 miles a level. So I'm level 13, right? So that's 180 miles.
Yeah.
Which isn't bad, but there's a lot of
it's a big
cities in the US, right? Like Dallas to like Houston, that's definitely more. I guess that might be like 180, like on the dot.
I think that's on the dot. I think
that's 3 hours. So.
Yeah. So, as I remember the mileage signs, that's about right. It's about, it would be, for instance, like...
Man, if I could teleport from Dallas to Houston, that would be amazing, actually.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Here we are saying, like, man, Brise, it's so convenient. I got to find all these midway points to teleport to.
And for what you call it, for a person in your level of technology, the ability to do that is, marvelous.
Mm-hmm.
So you wake up around dawn. We already did sort of your morning rolls that we do every time your character wakes up. You're feeling fine. You feel as though okay, there we go. There's some notes. You feel like you're ready to go. The meeting was last night that discussed Chelbrick. And so now you're just going to get ready and go down to Convergence. So
first we'll teleport to the Valley of the Trinidas, I think.
Okay.
To check in if they've encountered anything about the Philistines' construction or any activity they've had in any of their old cities.
Well, it's only been, how long has it been? You could do that on the way back, I was thinking.
Oh, okay, that's true.
And give them more time to gather more information.
Yeah, okay. Let me see. Oh my goodness. Trinidas appears like 80 times in my notes.
Yeah.
I think it was just the 23rd when I last saw them. So it's the 27th now. So it's been 4 days. But yeah, we can do that on the way back then, like you said.
Yeah. So you might leave yourself a note because we know there's going to be several play sessions.
Yeah.
It's so funny. This is the only role-playing game in the world where you might need to set yourself alarms on your cell phone. Like, oh man,
for like 7 days from now.
That's right. I was thinking about, we had discussed at one time streaming a 24-hour role play session. Do you remember us talking about that?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh god, it would be so much fun, but we'd be so tired at the end of it.
It really would be, yeah.
But I'm telling you, I'm still up for it. We could do it. I just have to convince the wife not to go crazy. Oh, are you going to do that for your 20 followers? Are you? That's. I'm like,
or
no,
you heard it session 240, and that's when so 240 is going to be 24 hours.
We could do it at when you get to Pasadarius, when you get to the catacombs.
Oh, right, just exploring the catacombs. Well, I'm probably going to die in hour 1, so it's
it's funny. Well, here's 19 hours of rolling a character, and 5 minutes of play, and we're going to thank everybody, and that'll be it. Watch our viewership really drop. That's right. That's right, Quinn. We quadrupled our followers up to 20. What? Obi-Wan says she thinks my wife would be more supportive than I suggest.
What would you know about that?
I don't know. They're trying to keep them apart. So that's all possible. All right.
So yeah, we'll start just gearing up and walking toward convergence. Make sure I have my weapons in my
probably
bag.
do your morning ablutions, right? Because your appearance is so important to your character.
Right.
A bath can be drawn for you if you'd like.
Of course.
They always offer to take your clothes on and clean them and so on. So anything you've asked them to do has been done. Mm-hmm. Go down, there's pastries and hot drinks. All the pastries. Wow. She knows how to cook, apparently.
Yeah, this is the second time I remember.
And this food is not like food you've had at home, even though you're sort of in the region that would produce it. There'd be a lot of elven cuisine, a lot of human cuisine, and a lot of goblin cuisine, all of which you would have in abundance. All of this that you've had here, the majority of it has been different. Every now and then something familiar will come up.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, she must be Pin. She must be like
she did know a lot about Hestus. Yeah.
Right. And she is olive skinned, and she's because these spices smell like the things you smelled in Eainos when you were there briefly.
Yeah.
And so and you're thinking, man, Pin food may be for you. Their soups, you recall, were fabulous.
Yeah.
And so these pastries, I rolled a double aught again.
Wow. Wow.
So you really have to slow yourself down, because you're just going to make yourself sick on sugar.
Maybe I'll add that to my character sheet. Just Pen.
I think so.
Fun.
And just put, particular soups, particularly their rich soups, their like cream-based soups, and their pastries, we definitely know. So you ask the staff for names of various things. You get several names of pastries. You ask about the soup that you had the other day, describe it to them. You get the name of the soup, and you're like, I'll be asking for these anytime I'm on the sort of eastern side of these nations, because maybe we have somebody who's, picked up a recipe or two from a traveler. The pastry you really love is called Tershu, Tershu, and they tell you it's actually Pen for frosted dune.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of peaked, and there's icing over it, and inside it's just filled with cream. Iron, you've been told, has already left. Frowdrum is down there and raises a cup to you when you come in. Doshrik is down there.
Okay.
I was rolling up some of their items because I realized I needed to have a little better sense of their capabilities when I had them in combat.
Yeah.
So the Quinn, naughty boy. So Doshric's robes. I don't think you should read too much into this, but Doshric's robes make all of his spells slaying versus humans.
Oh, wow.
But slaying versus human is something you would like.
That would benefit me. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could see how even Manish versus Manish nations. I mean, this whole area's had had humans in it, so obviously it's very useful against men.
Yeah.
You can see that the goblins would find it useful. You can see that, I mean, the dwarves and the elves would find it useful.
Mm-hmm. Got a racist robe, man.
Exactly. So the so you eat, idle chit chat, anything you want to accomplish in conversation with Doshrik or Lady Kieran or.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Spoke at length last night, so.
Everyone parts ways. Everyone thanks Kieran very profusely.
Well, I guess I just thought about it. I could ask them about getting to Pesidarius, right? Just tell them my plans, so they know where I'm going to be. Tell them I'm, considering going to Convergence, looking for either people traveling there on foot or someone to teleport me to the city. There's enough magical prowess to do so.
Fraldrum looks at Doshrik and says, "You've really not been down that way very much." And Doshrik says, "No, master, no. Mostly north of all of that, but my time at Theaxia was very brief." That's which Theaxia is the Manish nation that we're in now. For our audience, Fraldrum, I know it's violence in the back.
Someone's got a human slaying robe back there.
That's right. If it's not beeping of the microwave like that for the 90th goddamn time, 90th goddamn time, then it's just violence with silverware and who knows what else. But the Fraldrum says, "I can get you to Pesidarius, but I have no halfway points that would be of any use to you." Let me come over here. My new 2-screen setup, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo! Double trouble.
It is double trouble. Well, yep. She's like, I don't have a sense of your range, but I don't think I have any spots that I can reliably teleport to that's going to help you. But I can get you to Pesidarius today and then let you work your way up. What do you say to that?
That actually, yeah, super convenient. We could do that. And then, when I want to come back, I'll start just heading north.
Turns to Doshrik and says, "Take your time coming back. I'll see you in the room sometime today." And what?
Quinn's Now with 9 million more microwave bees. Subscribe today.
I don't know if I told you this, but
Oh my
Quinn,
God, the microwave broke Kevin.
Quinn is now in charge of marketing.
Yeah.
That's his job.
It's better than whatever he does normally. Oh,
So, you guys finish eating, you fix your hair. That's not just a misogynistic joke. She's very careful about her appearance. You guys walk out to whatever spot she's chosen, which is across the back courtyard from yours. And she says, are you ready?
I am willing.
She murmurs. And that's the wrong thing. And there's a flash. Roll for me.
18.
And you are assaulted by the sounds of a city, by the smell of the sea, very strong. I'm trying to think, it's morning, so that means the sea breeze goes out. The cry of seabirds are everywhere. I mean, you thought there were a lot in Almar, but it's immediately warm and muggy. You didn't know that such a soggy heat can exist, but it's definitely already very warm.
I want to go back. I hate it. I can't stand the humidity.
That's right. That's all I care about.
Mountains.
So Fraldrum sort of laughs and says, "It takes some getting used to." He says, "Fish eyes even further to the south, and good luck to you there." It occurs to you to ask how far away you are from the Black Gulf, which is where
that's right.
Where what's his face? Oh, I've forgotten the name.
Those elves.
No, the god who makes his appearances. The last time he appeared, it was in the Black Gulf.
Really? Okay, the two references I have to the Black Gold is a merchant called Venel, who sold me that blue dagger with a vein of light running through it. He said that was from the Black Gulf.
Oh, that's very cool.
And then there's a pirate threat in the Black Gulf.
Okay. Yes.
Those are the references I have.
Huh. What am I thinking of then?
Are you thinking of the counterpart to Obreve?
No, I think I am thinking of Obreve.
Obreve herself. Okay. Yeah. When did she appeared twice here?
Obreve being a god that was from another world, who visited our world for the second time just a few days ago, just a few weeks ago, until things went horribly wrong.
38,040 sunrises ago was her first visit near the Black Bay. Is that the same?
Sorry, yes. I should have been the Black Gulf. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll retroactively fix that.
Yeah.
The Black Gulf. It was the Black Bay, but then it became the Black Gulf.
And once she arrived, she expanded the bay into an entire gulf.
Okie dokie.
And he says it's several days to the south. Quicker would be by boat. But she's like, you can't kid around down in those regions. The pirate threat is very real. They'll snatch you right off of a ship if they think they're useful to you, if you're useful to them. The architecture here just has an older feel to it, but it is very light white, gray, light blue stone. The Texas Tea Inlet. Is it Texas tea? There's a type of, oh man, the term for various Texas oils. There's it's sweet. That's right. It's sweet crude, light sweet, things like that. That's what makes me think of a tea.
Delicious. I'm getting an almond note from this oil.
Exactly. Well, if you go down to Houston using your teleport, go to the Science Museum there, and they'll have these cranks, and they did at least 20 years ago when I visited. And you can crank, and it'll pump forms of various oils, petroleum from various parts of the world. And like the crude oil, it's like half molten fudge.
Oh my God.
It is chunky and black, but like the lights are much more like motor oil. So honey colored, no chunks in it. It's really very interesting, but that crude oil is amazing.
Yeah.
So she points across the street. You're in an alley. She points across the street. She says, that is the Temple of Lewin.
Oh, okay.
You can tell by the slope of the land, but just to tell you, the piers and so on are, you're going to see me opposite, so that's not helpful. But as you're standing facing the Temple of Lewin, the piers and the sea are down to your right.
Okay.
She tells you that it would be 3 or 4 days probably by boat to get back to Alomar.
Okay.
If that's of any help. Oh, Quinn, do it. Let's drop it on.
I keep like listening to you, and then also Quinn will make a comment, and then I'm like,
that's right.
That's like trying to stay sure.
She tells you it's safer than Alomar here. Less need to be on your guard. She asks if there's anything else you need.
I tell her I'm setting out to explore the tombs. So I've gotten some advice already on what to expect down there. But if you have any,
touches her lips.
Okay.
She's like, they're really cracking down.
Really? Okay.
Well, things come up from the tombs and wind up slaying households. The people who know where the entrances of the tombs are, the catacombs, they use it as an income generating opportunity.
Right.
They lock it up. They put things on. They put locked doors on top of the holes in the ground and so on. And then if you want entry as an adventurer, you pay them a couple of gold. It makes a few families very wealthy.
Yeah.
But because of the trouble it causes, it's now illegal. So you want to ask around very quietly. But you can get thrown in jail just for asking.
Okay.
So
I will ask in the right places.
And just don't get overheard. I'm sure some of them are still are still operating. Back 10 years ago, there were probably, I knew of at least 24 entrances into the catacombs.
Sounds like you were an avid explorer yourself of the.
I've done my time in them. Lots of undead, lots of very unnatural, very strange merfolk. You've got notes, right, as to which particular entrance you need, right?
Well, right. I was going to say that I have Oshekra's notes, and he cataloged or documented his whole journey into the catacombs to find.
So you need to. Do you need to ask her which? Because it's toward the center of the city, is it not?
Sure. Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to mention that you have Oshekra's material on anything to her.
Yeah, she wouldn't know that. So I'll just tell her I do have notes. I'm looking for an entrance near the center of the city, specifically.
This is sort of the edge of the center.
Okay.
Back behind us and to the left is really where you start to get the rest of the temples, major guilds, and all of that. Mm-hmm. So that's where I would begin. Okay. But it's hard to believe that some of those haven't been boarded up. But if it's near the center of town and someone owns that property, they're going to be wealthy enough to bribe their way out of trouble. It could very well still be operating.
Yeah, okay. Worth a shot. I guess that would have been Oshekra visited this when he was younger, right? Didn't say.
I think it was 20. I think it was 20 years ago.
Oh, 20. Okay.
So yes, when he was younger, so significantly younger. You know.
I meant when he was young. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks what? He looks mid-50ish.
Yeah.
His 60s. So yeah, it could be 20, 30 years ago. Oshekra, I should put that note up.
Now, Quinn, you're all right.
Right.
The problem is there's a delay, so sometimes you'll make a joke at a good time, but then I'll read it.
Right. We both have time. Yeah, in his 50s. So there you go. So Oshekra traded with you. You gave him
the location of Verilag's prison.
Right. And then you got all of his notes of his exploration that came across your secret sex operation. Sex. SECT.
Don't tell everyone about my secret sex.
That's right. You'll get banned from bathrooms.
I'll get banned from the tombs and from Pesidarius.
So that's right. So she, Fraldrum, thanks you for your help over the past few weeks. Hopes that you're safe. You tell her that you'll be back in town by the 3rd,
right? For
by instruction of Athene, and off you go. Mm-hmm. I should modify this one because you're already there.
Yeah. Now, I guess actually the first thing I should do is start journeying back toward convergence, right? So I could find a midway point that I could teleport to.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would ask around.
Right. I'm worried if I start exploring the tombs now and then suddenly it's like the day before I need to be back at the.
Well, get injured also would be a problem. Get trapped. Yeah. So, Well, this is going to be an interesting time to choose a familiar.
Yeah.
Because
If,
might it be time for a rat?
exactly, yeah. Something get well adjusted to the darkness.
A snake? I don't know. It's interesting.
Hmm.
Something that can crawl, be quiet. Um,
Get through tight spaces.
so funny. So you could potentially find, this is one of those things, right? This just, as much as we like things to be real, well, because we like things to be sort of real within the context of the world, it's like, so you're like, oh, it'd be cool to have a poisonous snake. So you get a poisonous snake, but now you can't take the poisonous snake out in public because people are like, what the hell are you doing?
Right.
I don't know if being from part of the world that you're from. I mean, in real life.
Excuse me. Jeez.
Do you know much about Appalachian snake handling? Have you ever heard that as a part of Christianity?
No.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Based on certain passages in the Bible, the belief is that the faithful can handle snakes without harm. And so there's several volumes written on those traditions and on those sects. And some allow anyone of sufficient faith, including children, to handle deadly snakes.
Wow.
Others say no, only adults can really have a true understanding of God and therefore be considered truly faithful. So children are not allowed to handle.
Yeah.
In all cases, snake bites have occurred, but there certainly have been remarkable patterns of someone not getting bitten. Like, oh yeah, he does it. He handles 5 different snakes.
Right.
Every service. He's never been bitten. He's done 100 services in a row, whatever, So, okay. Well, I don't know what to say about any of that, but there it is for your consideration. But anyway, yeah, it was something my old publishing house published on.
Okay.
So you can look up snake handling on Wikipedia and just get an overview. But anyway, so that you're now the new snake handler. So
I'll use my faith to.
That's right.
Back the snake to me.
Also a magic item. So I got to silence my phone.
I was going to say, I mean, I could theoretically get a small octopus if I find one, right? To have
it doesn't have to be some
water.
Oh, that's funny.
I don't think they're that heavy, right? Technically, it's within my body weight because that's the requirement. And I mean, they can like crawl around on land.
They can do all kinds of stuff, man. They're amazing.
Yeah,
they are amazing. All right. So she thanks you, wishes you the best of luck, and then off she goes.
All right. I'm going to go find an inn probably where I could ask around for. Maybe an adventurers guild is better for people that are traveling to Convergence, not taking the South Coast Road, I guess.
I mean, either way, an inn would give you both types. You just tell people, I want to go to Convergence in the most direct way possible.
Mm-hmm. Let me also memorize this alley. I guess Fraldrum chose it. Might as well use it as one of my spots too.
So you walk down from where she chose, so that you're not in conflict with her. It is very memorable. There's graffiti. Until even the some of the spellings of words are different here, or otherwise this graffiti and couldn't spell.
Yeah.
You find a spot and you take your time and memorize it to your comfort. Okay. Here we are probably, it's still early morning. It's the sun's been up for just a bit. So,
Listen, a bunch. Quinn says, "Be careful, Max. He may be grooming you to handle his snake."
I guess I'll leave. You know what? I think I'll leave that because when you're no, I won't. I'm gonna change it. I am gonna change it. So the roll for me.
Yeah. 41.
And
Obi-Wan said you'd have to travel to do that. Virtual grooming is a thing.
very true. I mean, it's very.
It,
I mean, that's the art of that's the bread and butter of pedophiles, for God's sake. Talking young children into visiting and all that kind of stuff, and making them feel like they're older than they are, and ugh.
I mean, it's been 134 episodes, and we haven't.
Right.
It's not working very well, Kevin. You're
so where do you want to find this in?
Yeah, let's just go around the center of town, like she said, kind of head inward.
Okay.
Something a little higher end would be nice. Higher end, but still attracting like adventuring folk, traveling folk.
The sea air is lovely. The breeze is lovely. The humidity you are growing accustomed to. You sort of loosen some of your clothes to allow for more airflow. You're thinking like, hotter climes, how could you stand to wear armor even?
Yeah.
Like even now you're thinking about taking off your jerkin and all that kind of stuff. I guess before you leave the alley, you want to kind of put away any obvious weapons.
True. Yeah. I'll put them on the holding.
I should probably turn the other way since my monitors are here. There are constables about, multiple races represented in them. Fewer dwarves than you kind of expect. Pretty quickly you find a very large, very high-end inn.
Okay.
It's called the Brandy Fire.
Fun.
3 stories, very broad. Signs indicate that the stables are through a break in the building, an archway through the first floor, and they lead back to a courtyard. You see horses coming and going, being led by groomsmen. I'm going to change this. Why did I think this was a good idea when that's the more logical? You sort of, touch yourself up, walk in, very busy. You can see that there are adventurers here. They are all trying to keep a low profile. Like it took you a moment to identify them. You're like, there's something secretive about that group. And they're all sort of young and muscular and, and you're like, oh, I see. I recognize that magic item. That guy's got a potion at his belt. Their clothes are finer. So there's an effort, at least at this establishment, to not draw attention to the fact that you're an adventurer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I will.
You know that you will stand out, but because you're not wearing the finest clothing
Right.
over your gear.
I'm wearing all right stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and that does concern me because I am concerned about my appearance. So,
well, you're concerned about not looking poor,
right,
not looking poorly,
right.
But
do I feel poorly in this establishment?
I mean, so my thing would be you're more worried about success than you are about your appearance per se.
True.
You know, but of course you could get a room with a few extra gold and then just change.
Right.
So that's up to you. By the same token, you could try another inn. What would you like to do?
Yeah, let's get a room. Get a room just for one night. We'll make sure I'm all changed into better clothes. I feel like it'll be more successful anyway if
Sure.
blend in.
It's a very short dwarven female who greets you at the bar. Definitely gives you a look over. You are, suddenly very self-conscious.
Yeah.
She says to you in what is definitely dwarven, she says something about business and smiles at you. What would you like to do?
Do I know enough dwarven to say my dwarven is not very good? What's my level of
Or you can say in facts anything you want. See if she'll.
I know, but I just want to.
Yeah.
I'm a 4, so yeah. No, I'll just say in facts. I've been looking for a room for the night, please.
Oh, forgive me. I was saying to you that you may not be dressed to the nines, but your face will be good for business.
I see.
Do you have anything a bit fancier you could change into?
I do, actually.
Then I've definitely got a room for you. 3rd floor, okay? It's our last one.
Okay. Popular place.
2 gold a night at the Brand Fire.
2 gold it is. Outrageous. Innkeeper.
An innkeeper, not necessarily the innkeeper.
Right. I always forget that. Did she seem? I mean, she seemed kind of like just not too serious about changing into something nice, right? Like, if I had said no, does it seem like she actually would have thrown me out, or?
No, but she might have negotiated with you.
Right. Okay.
That okay? Well, no weapons and
right.
Whereas
at least if I change into something nice, no more questions.
Right.
That is fine.
Gives you a key. She tells you, "Welcome to the Brandy Fire." She says, "Get yourself changed and come smile at our customers." And she hits you playfully on the arm.
Okay. So you'll have to start paying me for the
for the smiles and entertainment, right?
All right. So I'm going to go upstairs to the room. Note down it's on the 3rd floor.
Way up.
Oh, these stairs.
You pass an adventurer on the stairs, if that's relevant to you. My drink is in the way of my new monitor. Oh dear. Do you want to stop them or do you want to keep rolling?
I'll stop him if he seems he's willing to be stopped. And I'll say another traveler, another adventuring type.
File. What is it doing? There we go. It's a female elf. Quite beautiful. Very well kept. That makes sense. My, aren't you lovely? She says to you. Yes, this whole inn it's either high-end merchants or prosperous adventurers who've had some luck. Those who don't have luck are usually down on the piers. There's 20 inns down there, but I won't. Luck or no, I always hold money for nice inns.
Can you get a feel on her?
Yeah.
I mean, get a read on her.
Yes, you absolutely.
Immediately just go in and 61.
Feels an all right source. I'm sorry, all right sort.
Mm-hmm.
Fairly harmless as that goes. She's she really is totally unarmed. She's not without charm to go along with her beauty. Light brown eyes, long platinum hair.
Okay.
She tells you that, hey, if this is your first time here and it looks as though it might be, keep your shop talk down to the table, huh? Don't let the next table hear. Some of the merchants don't care for our type.
Well, I say then it's mostly the same everywhere, just like anywhere else.
She goes, well, that's true enough. What's your business here?
Well, I'll just make sure no one's around and say I'm interested in exploring the tombs. I have some notes on something down there that I'm eager to find.
I've been here on and off for 10 years, and I've never gone down to the catacombs.
10 years. So you like level 50?
She's probably
I'm
10
scared.
or 12 levels higher than you.
Okay.
I don't know what's kept me from them. You hear different things. You hear they're all empty anyway. You hear they'll never be empty. There's always something going on.
Mm-hmm.
A word of advice, though, I did hear that the criminal element, they like to use them as storehouses and meeting places. So, just keep an eye out for that if you go down.
Right. And I'll say, actually, before I go into the tombs, I do need to make my way to Convergence. Try to find a city at a midpoint for Well, I'm trying to get to convergence as fast as possible, so I could have get a route from there to here.
She says, you can at least whisper the word teleport. I know there's supposed to be a village along the Miners' March. I don't know if it's as much as a midpoint as you'll need, but it's a village called Trunder. A friend used it years ago for getting to Iron Falls on the far side of Theaxia. I don't know if that would serve you for convergence, though. I just don't know. But surely it's a good starting place. You'd be in the middle of the nation.
Right. Okay.
But that's just a guess on my part.
Okay, and that's the Miners' March. I assume that's a road. Does that go out from Pesidarius?
Oh, no. It breaks off from the Old Coast Road many miles north of here.
Okay.
Most of the caravans are going to use the Old Coast Road and then turn inland. Unfortunately, you might ask the criminal element, pay them some money to get you there without using those roads, because they'll want to avoid patrols anyway. That's one thought. Maybe it's too dangerous to do that, especially as pretty as you are.
Yeah. I've been underestimated plenty of times.
Well, but you've got to sleep sometime.
Right.
And it's going to be more than a day's travel to Trunder. Now, if you don't mind giving me some information about anything you might have heard. Have you ever heard of the Sleepless Island? Roll for me.
Not in my notes, but yeah, I'll see if Brise knows. 83.
You have definitely heard the name. Make a memory roll for me.
21.
Your understanding is that it's in the Black Gulf.
They grow coffee beans there.
That's it. That's all they grow.
Your exporter. Like, that's all? Okay.
That it's in the Black Gulf. That it's enchanted. That once you land there, you can't sleep. And you have to find the heart of the island and get your dream self back before you can ever sleep again.
Wow.
She says that's much of what she's heard.
Okay.
Except she believes it's closer to Pesidarius, according to her sources. She says, you imagine being hired by some nut job to find this place. But no, think about it. Have you ever seen one of these? And she takes out a Mekra's egg.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
For any new viewer or someone who can't remember every vast detail in this game, Mega's Egg is a magic item you set near a magical source, and it draws magic from that source and gives increased magical power to you. He's crazy, this fella I'm working for, but his reasoning's pretty sound. How much magic must be on that entire island?
But then how do you, I forgot, does the egg transmit the energy? Does it store it? And then
No, it transmits it.
Oh, you could just set it down and go anywhere.
Yeah. So if I find it, I'm not to set foot on the island. I'm supposed to literally use my sling and sling the egg onto land. Now, he'll pay me 5-fold if I can place it at the heart of the island, whatever that means. But I'm not risking that. I would have to see that damn beating heart from the shore before I try that. But I got to say, man's no dummy when it comes to trying to gain power.
Yeah. Yeah, if there's one thing wizards like is finding power in unique and strange ways.
There, my dear, you are correct. She reaches out a hand. She introduces herself as Titra, Tietra.
Okay.
She wishes you luck.
Same to you.
And down she goes.
Okay.
So some information.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what to do with the information about the town, but it does give you a starting point. It gives you a destination to tell people, hey, can you get me here?
Right. And do you think, well, and if I talk to another adventurer, do you think I could teleport from there to Convergence, right?
Right.
Well, they don't know my range. I guess I would just say 130 miles, like give or take.
I don't think that would help.
Really?
I don't think you have that exact sense of it.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I don't know how long I travel in a day. Like it probably would be 15, 20 miles.
Right.
Still a lot, like a variance.
Yeah. I mean, 15 is what you expect. 20 is what you'd like to get.
Yeah. Right. So I would just say, do you think this town is, 5 days of travel?
The thing is, it's as the crow flies, which you can't do. Meaning
teleporting is as the crow flies, but if it's 5 days of travel,
I see what you mean.
Faster, actually.
Right. By definition, it would be faster. I see what you mean.
I can at least look for an upper bound, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd probably just say, yeah, can I make it from Trunder to Convergence in 5 days?
Right.
Probably like I could teleport from there. And if not, then I'll find Trunder and then find another village closer,
Right. Yeah. You start going north of Trunder and hoping you can hit something, and you try from there, and then that doesn't work. You keep going. And so you could do a couple of days of that.
Try Trunder and then
right.
Next village is Blunder. I think we'll skip that.
Trinder, which is there's a lot of guys on Trinder. Let me tell you.
Grinder, like, oh my God, what is happening with these villages?
Trinder, I don't even like her. Well, it's you want to take a break, my good man?
Yeah, well, you should get to the room and just drop myself.
Yes.
Then we'll take a break.
Get to the room. drop your stuff off, change clothes. You really have no travel wear to worry about.
Yeah, I just got town clothes.
Right.
Keep with me. So.
Oof, take that back. She's about 20 levels higher than you.
Oof.
All right, guys, we are going to stretch our legs, and refill our drinks. Thanks for hanging with us thus far, and we will be back. I mean, I've missed so many chats. Oh my God, I feel guilty.
I know they've been Obi-Wan, Karen, and Quinn have been at it. Do you come from the land down trunder, where women glow and men plunder? Is that a song? It sounds really familiar.
Yeah. It's a great song. It's got a great big sound to it, and yeah, from the land down under. Yeah. And men plunder. That's pretty good. I like that. All right, guys, you've distracted us enough with your brilliant chats. I've been hilarious. You have, my darling. So, all right, we'll be right back with you. I think I'm gonna leave the caption up to remind anybody what we're doing. So, give us just a minute to stretch our legs, and we'll be right back with you. Hey, everybody, welcome back. Let's go get Max, whom we adore.
There you go.
There he is.
Oh, Quinn's getting
Alrighty,
sleepy. Hey, Quinn, wake up.
Poke, 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 poke. Wake up, buddy. Poke, poke, poke. You sound like
If
Bert.
you need to take a nap, Quinn, don't worry. You can, or go to sleep. You have our permission.
Alrighty. So, yeah, you're ready to go downstairs and mingle.
Yeah.
We're at an inn called the Brandy Fire, and we're trying to gather information on some village in the middle of Theaxia that might be a useful spot for to reach convergence from as a halfway measure.
Right.
Up, down you go, I should say. Still very busy. It's getting easier to pick out the adventuring groups. I guess you dressed in one of your dresses, did you not?
Yeah, I have some town clothes. I believe Aldrich tailored them for me. So someone tailored them for me.
I think Aldrich, I think you're right. So yeah. You do turn some heads when you come downstairs. Do you want to wear anything that marks you as an adventurer?
Yes, I was just thinking about that. Like, I don't want to be mistaken as just a lady.
A townie.
Yeah, so I wonder what would be good for that.
Dagger, deliberately.
Dagger, yeah, like shown. Potions at my belt, like that other person had.
Mm-hmm. Well, pick your poison, sir.
Pick my potion, thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
Healing potion at my belt. A couple of healing potions. My herb pouches as well. Yeah, I just have that whole belt and herb pouch. I'll be wearing that.
Okay. Mm-hmm. You do catch the eye of an adventurer who turns as you come downstairs. Oh, man. It's confusing. I'm not used to using two monitors. It's a little confusing.
Yeah, the worst is when you're like, where is it? Where's that window? And then it's like on the other monitor. You're like, oh, that's right.
That's all coming back.
That all the time.
Oh, fun. It's a goblin. Loner? No. With a group of about 7.
Okay.
Clean shaven. Makes sense. Huh. Well, got some very what's the word? Definitive roles. I assume you brought some money with you.
Oh, of course.
You approach. The goblin shoves his buddy over, and oh my god, about to reach the computer's other keyboard, and make sure you have a seat. Make way for the lady, he says in Goblin.
I say, finally, a goblin with manners.
That's right. And paste special. Is that it? That did not work.
Stop talking about your special paste. Isn't that weird that copy, like paste, is such an odd word for describing it, but
that's the original.
exactly what it was. Yeah, they would take a word, right, and paste it onto.
I mean, our senior editor at the press, that is what he did.
Mhm.
That he lived for that era. He lived to that, from that era all the way to computers.
Yeah,
He was so grateful for computers. He really was.
that's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy to see that people that, yeah, just the first users of technology.
And like just how
The people who were born into it, they kind of, not take it for granted, but just they don't have that same.
I think they take it for granted. I mean, I think that's exactly what they do, and who can blame them? I mean, that's not a
right. I see what you mean. Yeah.
That's. I mean, it's really. Right? Does that work? Yeah, it worked. Oh my Lord. I've got to get these notifications turned off. Sorry, gang. This is taking me forever.
Kevin's just checking his emails.
Is that wrong? Is that wrong for me to do right now?
He's not even checking his emails. He's just going through his spam and seeing if any of it's real.
That's right. Come on.
Does she really want me?
Does she really want me? That I knew. So yeah, pushes this elf out of the way, pulls a chair from another table.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone rolls their eyes, and he says, "I want to introduce everyone to my new friend," and looks at you for your name.
You can call me Brise.
Brise, this is my lovely friend Brise. This is my lovely friend Brise. Say hello to Brise, everyone. And he hits the people next to him. They all nod and so on. A drink for Brise. A drink for Brise. And so.
Oh my God, I kind of love this guy.
The guy that he shoved out of your way has not laughed a thing. He, but his, do we have propriety? Oh yeah. He says, takes your hand very formally and very genuinely says, "I am extremely sorry, madam, for his extremely forward nature." So he is a continental elf, male, platinum hair, just mid-length, so down to his neck or so.
I say, it's no problem. I grew up around goblins. Used to them being like this.
And the goblin leans around you and says, "See, Katala, she likes it." And what can fellow adventurers do for you? Some good company, some good tale? Oh, wait, that sounds terrible. Anyway.
20 of tales, 7 to go around. I say I'm actually looking for passage to convergence. Trying to find a good midpoint I could possibly teleport to. I've heard there's a village named Trunder along the Miner's March, though I didn't get a clear reading if that's an acceptable spot or not.
Everybody looks around at each other helplessly, excuse me. And they're like, this is as far north as we've been.
Wow. Really?
We've cut all across the south of this land. We've been in the Orc Nation, Garduck, you may know,
Hmm.
desert lands, Koronok among the dark dwarves.
Wow.
We've done all of that, but tomorrow will be our first sight of the ocean, all of us together.
Hmm.
There's a car on the interstate, and the way it gunned its engine, it sounded like a monster out there. It sounded like some distant creature. I was just like, it's a little scary.
I've heard that before. I've been like falling asleep and heard some people start racing, on like George Bush Tollway.
Yeah.
It's like, what the is going
Yeah.
on? And yeah, not a pleasant sound to fall asleep to.
No.
Okay.
We've run from hunters seeking slaves, in the what is that place called? I can't remember what it's called now. Shoot, I can't remember. The unclaimed lands between Garduck and Theaxia.
Hmm.
But no, we've never been to the northern half of this nation.
Okay.
Surely someone can help you, the goblin says. And he proceeds to stand on the table.
How do I feel? Am I embarrassed by this, or am I kind of impressed? Or a little bit of both.
I mean, it's very sweet, but you know exactly what he's after, shall we say?
Right.
So the question is, will it get you and them thrown out? And do you care?
Yeah.
They pulled him down before.
Yeah, I was going to, because it is a nicer establishment.
Right. So lots of arms reach. Katala, sort of has to stretch across you. And he's very formal. I beg your pardon, madam, and jumps up and grabs him.
Yeah.
One of the gals across the way from you on the other side of the table is like, I am not repacking my stuff. I just got unpacked. Another one says, they're all speaking Goblin. It's interesting. Says, I'll put him to sleep. I'll do it right now. I'll do it in front of everybody.
I love this adventuring party.
Like, we can splash ale on him, tell him he's already had too many. Says, you see, and the goblin says, you see what I have to put up with. No guts in any of these people, not a bit.
I said, there's a difference between guts and being foolish as well.
The group says, well said, well said.
A large difference.
Go to a temple, says the female. Go to a temple, ask to see their maps of where their temples are.
Oh, okay.
You might find a large enough town Generally, the bigger temples will have them. Don't go to a small one. They're not so interested in building as the larger ones, and the larger ones control all the assets anyway. Katala says, my friend is right.
Okay. I will go check the Temple of Lewin then, not far from here.
In this toward the center of town, there might be even larger ones.
True, actually, yeah. Well, then I'll ask them. Was the closest temple, largest temple, and you'd recommend?
We've been here only hours.
Okay.
The goblin says, now she's going to go. Way to go. Fantastic.
Well, I am curious to hear about all their tales of the South, and I wouldn't mind sharing some of my own exploits here in the North. I don't think I'm running on a tight schedule today.
No, I mean, you've already gotten some ideas and some leads, so
Yeah.
you know. So they're more than happy to tell tales.
Okay.
And roll for me.
46.
So you stop yourself before it goes too long.
Yeah.
They talk about being taken in, as in cared for, by the hooded ones, a community of serpent people that resemble the snakes of the far south that they've heard about, the deadly cobra. Not quite as tall as a man, more the height of a goblin. And you expect them to be cold and so on, but they had a very strong ethic of relieving suffering, and the community took them in when they were near death. The occasion that led to their danger was simple enough, and that was traveling along a game trail. They found a pile of bones, proceeded with caution. When they hit the pile of bones, these large fleshy plants rose, and they found themselves entrapped in a cage of lightning, sparking from one plant to another. They fought as best they could, but it was difficult to see with flashes of lightning cutting between them.
Right.
And even though the plants were stationary, they would miss so much of the time. They had this tough, sort of fleshy, they sort of unfurled out of the grass.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, it took several blows even to get through their tough hide. And then as the plants just continued to strike, we went down one after another.
Wow.
We found that by moving very, very slowly out of there, they didn't seem to react. And we crawled for hours.
Wow.
And then we came across another patch just a few yards away, and had to slow crawl through that. But in the meantime, we have party members bleeding. One of us had to drag another one who was unconscious all the time, moving slowly. We left a lot of our gear behind. Much of it was destroyed by the lightning. Some of us couldn't walk. Um, and so we crawled for a good while until we collapsed. And then when we woke up,
Classic.
we found ourselves under the care of the hooded ones.
We collapsed, yada, yada, yada. Then there's the hooded ones.
That's right. I mentioned the bisque. They couldn't speak our language. But they helped us and then let us go.
I ask the name of the hooded ones. Did you recognize them, or is that a name?
It was a name we had heard before.
Okay.
On the among the orcs, they're called the hooded ones, and they have a dreaded but unearned reputation among the orcs. Slaying them is considered a great honor, but we see no reason to. Now, there were markings in their underground dwellings that show their own hatred for the orc. So there is some ancient animosity there that this group can't sort of explain, you know.
Right. Interesting.
They tell you another story. This in the mountains of Garduck, which is south of the Dwarven country, of great floating creatures. They seem to be made out of just an enormous leather bag, maybe a dozen to 20 yards long, and with these great hanging crab-like claws. And they hid from them once they saw it snip a giant to pieces.
Jeez.
And begin, picking it up and entering, lifting the pieces into a mouth in the center of the paws.
Sashimi.
There were other giants present, and they hurled great stones, great spears, and axes at the creature. And clearly they dealt some damage. We saw a craw hang loose, as though it had been severed enough to become useless. But they'd never seen anything like it nor heard of anything. They ask you if you've ever heard anything like that, and I don't think you have, but give it a roll.
42.
No. Let's do one more. We found a place in the hills on this side of the Orc Mountains that was an ancient ruin of considerable size. there was a place where the fountains still ran, and we deduced that stepping into a fountain, the fountain would push you up to platforms and so on at other levels of buildings. That these were sort of natural stairways made of water, if you will. I mean, it's they wouldn't have the word elevator, so I don't know what else to describe it as.
Lift, I guess.
It's but the fountains would carry you up,
right,
and you would remain dry, and it was quite beautiful. Although, as you might guess, long taken over by both natural and unnatural creatures. So we fought there for 2 or 3 days, encountering various dangerous creatures, including one of the great stone oxes.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
You encountered
I did encounter a stone
ox.
Yeah, I guess it was an ox. Yeah, I didn't check to see if he was castrated or not, but
That's right.
That's right. An ox is a castrated bull, right?
That's right. Used for work.
Stone bulls are dangerous. Stone oxes, you don't want to mess with that.
That's right.
You get more dangerous.
That's right. They said, that we just had to run from the stone ox. Just nothing we could do could hurt it.
Mm-hmm.
But we were younger then. Maybe we'd have a better shot now.
I mentioned that when I found one, I'm pretty sure I left it alone, and it seemed to mind its business. Although it did seem to emanate a sense of, if I messed with it, it would take me down. It would not flee.
And they always kind of look at you and look at each other like, maybe we should have taken that approach, kind of regretting that whole encounter now. We could have just left that thing alone. I wouldn't have to run through the street screaming. Yeah.
Cool.
So mid-morning, you sort of break off from them.
Yeah.
Off to a temple, you think?
Yeah. So we'll leave the inn and try to find one myself.
Do you want to gather your gear?
No, I'll leave it here, just so I can go around town a little easier. I've got my daggers and my potions and herbs.
Okay. Yeah, as long as you've got it marked.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe stop at the bar and ask for directions.
Yeah.
Say, what's the largest and nearest temples? Kaldred, the god of thunderstorms and earthquakes, is really nearby. There's also Vaterdobs. And they say, as you know, Vaterdob's festival was this month. Oh. So the temple should be flush with donations, might be feeling generous.
I'll give it a try. Thank you.
And there's one other that is worth checking out, but it's really large, but it's not really a little bit nearby. It's planted near the wharfs, and that's the god of sea and wealth, depicted as a male. That's Jalaret. That one is one of the biggest in town, they tell you, but it's not particularly nearby.
All right. Yeah, I'll go check out the Temple of Vatterdab. Vatterdab.
They give you directions, and off you go.
How do you spell Vatterdab, by the way?
VADD. Sorry, VATTERDOB.
D-O-B. Okay.
So you given directions. Roll to navigate.
48.
Not bad. Takes you a bit of time to get there. Plenty to see. The city is just rather lovely.
Yeah.
Airiness to it.
In my head, I keep picturing, like, for some reason, like Greece. You know, just
Mhm.
like cities in Greece on the ocean.
Yeah, that sort of coloring is very much what I had in mind here. Which, I mean, Alomar is plenty beautiful, but they're more browns and there's more variety in architecture there. More color variety, especially, but also architectural variety. So there seems to be a theme that the columns are sort of slender vases that broaden at the top and then narrow again, and then you have overflowing plants, sometimes real, sometimes stone. When there are really tall columns. What is her? She is the goddess of death, roadways, and gambling. Human female, depicted as smiling and sporting two great swords, one in each hand. She's actually married to Caldred.
No.
Here, the
man, I'm tired of exploring. I was just exploring the Temple of the Iron Empress. There's all these death goddesses.
Yeah. Hey, it's a part of life,
Well, hopefully this one I don't need to explore every inch of. Well,
That's right.
Someone will be there to help me find what I'm looking for.
That's right. The columns here are swords, and across the front, but they end in big planted bushes. You're stopped almost immediately. There are priests and priestesses just directly out front. And a priestess comes to you and says, "Has someone passed, or are you here for other reasons?"
I'm here for other reasons. I was wondering if I could take a look at your maps that you have.
The public library is in the forward section to the left. 3 silver entrance for a day.
All right. I mean, it's a temple. I'll give them a gold.
Well, you do that. You'll do that inside.
Okay.
Although you can always tip priest, as you learned from Clarin.
Yeah.
Ways. So whatever you would like to do.
No, I'm just donating.
Greatly
inside.
Appreciated. No, just anything you want to give.
Anything? Okay. Well, I've got some junk here. I can just offer. I've got like 7 empty potion vials. These are really weighing me down.
I guess you would, eventually just to begin to amassing those as an adventurer. I never thought about that. And you're like,
yeah, I mean, I have, I think 7, and then I started throwing the rest away.
Yeah.
I don't need to keep that many. It's like there's a huge like littering problem of like potion vials all over Karandrin.
That's right.
Not biodegradable. Oh
it's God. Like tech usage, like it's producing dead cell phones and laptops at an alarming rate.
Yeah.
you go in, and people stop and ask if you need help multiple times. Their gentleness is just remarkable. You're like, I just expected it to be gloomy and but you've not really been to many temples of Vaterdab. You didn't have, at least as an adult, you've not had that much death.
Right.
But there's just a sensitivity and a kindness to them all. You go to the library and give your 3 silver and ask, hey, where are the maps? And they, they help you find one that is of great use.
Okay.
So using the hem of your cape, you can kind of eyeball where things might be a midway point.
Yeah.
And I think we ought to stop right here. I say that because that way you and I can do some off-screen stuff either afterwards or next week, and we can actually do the math.
Yeah. Okay.
And
make sure it's accurate.
Yeah, make sure we're not insane. So
okay.
So gang, thanks for hanging out with us. Sort of an informational kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
a little tourism.
A little tourism, true. Little fantasy tourism. So thanks for joining us as always. We really do have a good time. We appreciate all your just hanging out with us and listening to the world and that we've created. So you think we're doing a good job, then hop the donor box and send us some love. If you want to hear more from Max, and I think you should, then hop to his YouTube channel where he discusses the role of music and original soundtracks in video games. Thanks as always to Elliot Dunovitz for their terrific character art that we use almost every session. If you want to see more of Elliot's work, then please go to artstation.com/Tortolua and see what they've been up to. And I've written a novel called A Shore Too Far that you can find on Amazon. Max, have I forgotten anything, or do you just want to say goodbye to these lovely people?
Well, I do want to point out, it was funny. Quinn said he was getting tired, and then his last comment was littering, and then
he's gone.
So hope Quinn is resting well. And,
right.
Hope you all get good rest as well tonight. So yeah, thanks for watching. We will see you next Wednesday, episode
135.
135. Yeah,
that's right. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks.